Hi everyone, welcome back to my corner. In today's video, I am going to present to you my February art challenge, which was the Fairy-bruary art challenge. So I had to draw a different fairy every day for the all 28 days of the month. I decided to give myself some prompt to draw. So I drew like the 4 seasons, I drew the zodiac signs and a lot of other type of fairies. Now, if you follow me on my other social media like Instagram or Facebook, you may have seen that I actually hurt my index finger on my right hand in January, and I couldn't draw. I couldn't even use like a keyboard or a computer mouse. So I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to draw in February. But I really wanted to do this art challenge because, I was waiting for that challenge since August when I started all of this. I love fairies, so when I started the month, my finger, well, the nail still felt a little bit weird, and the tip of the finger was actually numb. So, but I was able to draw and I was able to do the art challenge, so I was super happy about it. So this month I did not film myself doing the drawings because I was really short on time. It was a very busy month at work, so I was actually doing overtime. So I was drawing at my 15-minute breaks. On my working desk, I would be drawing like late at night in my bed. So I did not take the time to put cameras and film myself. So today we are just going to do a sketchbook tour. So this month I started a new sketchbook. So I bought this sketchbook, I think in December or January, and it's from the brand Ohuhu. I really enjoyed drawing in it. The paper feels really nice. It's really soft, and it came with, I don't know how you call that. It's something that prevents bleeding from your markers on the other pages, and it's the size of the sketchbook, so it's super nice. It's perfect. And this sketchbook is made for alcohol-based markers, so it's made for easy blending, and yeah. So that was super fun to draw in this. I just really overall enjoyed drawing in this, and I'm super happy to have it. I really love the size of the sketchbook. I thought it was a very interesting size, and yeah. This month the drawings were all made with Unipins and Ohuhu fine liners, and the only one that I did with the Sakura fine liners was the Gemini Fairy, and also I used the Ohuhu alcohol markers on all of the drawings. So let's begin. Let's explore the fairy world. On February 1st, I wanted to start the month by opening the door to this magical world of fairies. I drew the door to the fairy world in the middle of the woods. You can actually see through it, and you would think that by going through it, you would just end up on the other side in the same forest, but you would be wrong. If you go through this door, you end up in a fantastic world of fairies, of mystical creatures where they have powers and they have different rules. So I really took my time that day to draw this because my finger was still hurting. I tested the blending on the background. I had a lot of fun drawing that, and I really liked the result. So let's enter the world of fairies. In this world, there are cute and sweet creatures, and there are also more dark and even evil fairies. So on February 2nd, I drew the Death Fairy. I really love this one. She has a veil on her face, all over her. She has wings that are bare bones. She has a flower crown. She is actually the only fairy that I didn't do with alcohol-based markers. I left her on color just because I didn't feel like it needed any colors. So, I mean, I really love her. I think she's really creepy. So on February 3rd, I started with the first zodiac sign, which is the Aries. So it is pretty much self-explanatory. She's a fairy with ram horns. She has red hair. So the Aries woman is a very independent person. She is full of energy. She takes initiatives. She's fun, she's creative, she's bold, she's fierce, she's ambitious. That's why I wanted her to have this stance, that fierce look of someone ready for battle. Overall, I really love the result. I think she's super pretty. I love her eyes. I love everything about her, so I'm super proud of her. On February 4, I drew the Summer Fairy. Now, this one I really love. I love her, but I don't love the wings. I had this idea of glowing wings on her back without any fine liners, but I failed miserably. It did not do what I wanted the markers to do, so I was super sad about it because she is really, really pretty, I think. I love her skin. I love all the blending on her scarf here. I love everything about her. I love her eyes. I love her nose. I love everything. So I was super mad at myself for the way I did the wings. I mean, she's gorgeous. I'm super proud of her, but just don't look at the wings, you know, like just don't look at them. So on February 5th, it was the Light Fairy. So I imagine her with the power of light coming from her hands, and I decided to make her with 10 arms, a little bit like some goddess in some countries. I gave her a really white dress, and she has kind of little dots on her arms. Like I don't really know why. I just imagine that like the power would come from this. I don't know. So I made the wing with a white crayon. So that's the way I was able to put wings on the black. On February 6th, I did the Taurus Fairy. So the Taurus woman is strong, stable, she's loyal, genuine, she's reliable, sociable, and she's open to others. So I wanted to draw her feeling free, running in the air, her arms stretched, opened to the world. I gave her red clothes because I don't know, a Taurus, I guess. I don't know. I gave her Taurus horns, of course. The wings illustrate here the zodiac sign. And she's leaving some fairy dust and sparkle behind her. I think the result is okay. I'm not in love with the design of this one. I feel like I was not able to achieve the face I was going for. I erased like a million times and I ended up with this face. I mean, it's okay. It's not perfect and it's not my favorite also. I'm sorry for all the Taurus that are watching. So if you are a Taurus, please tell me in the comments, what do you think of her? Do you like her? So on February 7, I drew the Animal Fairy. So I imagine her being one with animals, understanding them, being able to communicate with them, heal them, take care of them, help them, etc. I chose to give her green clothes and red hair to go with the theme, and she is holding a fox. I used a photo reference for this one. Actually, I always use photo reference for my drawings because I'm still learning like proportion and stuff like that, so I always use photos. Sometimes I will mix up different photos, or I will mix up a photo with something in my imagination, or I will just use a pose like a woman standing with her hand like that, and then I will add some other stuff to it. I think this one is actually close to the actual picture, and I added the wings, of course, and some details are different. On February 8th, I drew the Gemini Fairy, or Fairies. The Gemini is curious, gentle, full of ideas, but indecisive. The word Gemini is twins in Greek, but I did not want to draw twins. I just wanted to draw like two sisters, just to make it a little bit different. I think I could capture the gentle nature of the Gemini, wanting to be accepted. And it's on that day that I was testing the Sakura fine liners, so you can see a little bit of smear here and there. And also I used water-based markers on the wings, and you can still feel like the paper thing. You can go watch that video if you want. You will see what I mean by that. So on February 9, I drew the Saturn Fairy. I don't really have like an idea of why I wanted to draw a Saturn Fairy. I just thought it was a neat idea, like with the Saturn rings. I thought it would be fun to draw. My mind went immediately to like a retro futuristic type of fairy. So I gave her this ring around her face. I gave her really retro hair. She has purple skin. She has a retro skirt. I gave her skin some dots design just to make it more like futuristic or alien-esque. I don't know. Also, shout out to Joy from Joy Eats. She actually helped me to pick up the skin color because and the dress color also, because I didn't know where to put the red and the blue. Like I wasn't sure. And she said, hey, try this and that. So she's the reason why it looks like that. Thank you, Joy. I love you. On February 10, I did the Cancer Fairy. So the Cancer is a sign that is shy, good, protective. The Cancer is dependent, loyal, sensitive, intuitive. She's all about family. So for this one, I made her some crab hands and I gave her antennas. I made her skin a little bit like the blue crabs, but with more of a skin color than the reddish that they have. Her sign is portrayed in the wings, and she has pointy feet. Her hair is multicolors because I see Cancer as being very creative and full of imagination. So I wanted to give her some colorful hair. I gave her this pose because first of all, I liked the pose, but also because it's full of energy. I don't know, it felt like a Cancer fairy. I don't know. But I really like her. I think she's pretty. On December 11, I did the Spring Fairy. So I imagine her with a big flowy dress in the wind, full of flowers and pollen, fertilizing the ground with every blow of the wind. By doing that, I completely forgot to draw the wings. So I just hinted them here and there. So it's kind of under the dress because the dress is really like in the wind. So I could not draw wings elsewhere. I really like her. I love the dress. I love the like the colors. I love that it's like pastel blue, pastel green, pastel pink, and a pastel purple. I think it's really sweet, and I really like her. I think she's pretty. On February 12th, I did the Lion Fairy. So the lion is a flamboyant person. They are luminous, generous, warm. They are proud, and they have this aura of like dominance. So for this fairy, I wanted to draw her as flamboyant, extravagant, so full of confidence. I drew her in the tones of brown, yellow, orange to stay in the lion theme, and she has a lot of hair to mimic the lion mane. Her skirt is somewhat transparent, and she wears like a body thing. I'm not sure how you call that. You know, like the thing that look like swimsuits but are actually like body suits. I'm not sure how you call that. So yeah, so this is the result. I really love her. I think she represents the lion really well. So on February 13, I did the Fruit Fairy. So I thought of her as being very small, very mystical, growing fruits with her powers, like very hard to see in nature. She has transparent wings. She's green. She's very secretive. She can just blend with her surroundings and do her job. So people discover the fruits the next morning. So that was the whole idea. She's very different than the others, and I think it works. I think she's pretty. I really like her, and she was really fun to draw. Actually, the whole thing was really fun to draw. On February 14, I did the Virgo Fairy. So the Virgo is a discreet, fun, fun to be around, reserved, things with a lot of reasons. I see them as being, in French we say casanier, which is home-loving, like indoorsy, I don't know. Like there's not a word that describes exactly what I mean, but yeah. Like the Virgo likes to stay at home. They love to do things inside. So I don't know. So that's with this idea of indoor fairy that I started this fairy. So I gave her this really sweet pinkish dress, and she's wearing leggings. She has socks on. She has her little cat here, and she has a stack of books, some plants, and she's looking outside. On February 15, I drew the insect fairy, or if you want, a bug fairy. So I imagine her being one with insects, taking care of them, a little bit like the animal fairy, I guess, but this time for insects. I drew more of her face and upper body, because I wanted to incorporate her insect friends in her hair and all over her. So I drew a grasshopper, I drew a ladybug, a blue longhorn beetle, I did a pink butterfly. This I'm not sure of what it's called. I saw on the internet the name Sphycterus, but I'm really not sure that it's the same bug, or like I have no idea. Tell me in the comments if you know what this is. And of course, I did a praying mantis on her shoulder. So I wanted her to be almost all white, but I didn't have like a pretty pastel color for the skin. So I made her like greenish, going on like Caucasian skin colors. So I think it gave her some dimension and some originality instead of being all like Caucasian. Then I gave her some gray hair. Her wings are black and greenish, and there's a lot of veins inside of them. She quickly became one of my favorite. I think she's super great. I really love the eyelashes that I did. I think she's pretty. Like you can really see the bugs, and she's really, I mean, I really like her. So I'm talking way too much, so I'm just gonna open a can just to have more saliva. Some ASMR. It's making me cry. Okay, let's continue. On February 16, I did the Libra Fairy. So I went really literal with the Libra. The Libra is portrayed as a scale, and in French, the name of the Libra is a scale. Like it's a balance. It's a... Okay. So the Libra is sociable. It's optimist, likable, diplomat. It's all about fairness, justice. They are very harmonious. They stay away from conflict. So I wanted to do the fairy like symmetrical, very balanced. I mean, yeah, so very poised. I wanted to draw like equality. So I put some scales on her arms, and to kind of hint that it was a Libra. I made her all pink for no reasons. I just thought that was really nice. And I really like her. I think it's a really fun pose. I think it's original. I think she's pretty. So on February 17, I actually wanted to draw like a forest theme or like a house, like the birth of the fairy, but I didn't have like a clear idea of what I wanted to draw. I didn't really know how to call it at first. So I drew this, and then I decided to call this the fairy nest. So of course I did a nest made out of branches, and there's a fairy with very bright colors, very colorful, sitting in the nest. Around her there's a lot of trees, leaves, lianas, and I imagine her being like in the jungle or something. Now you could think that she is the one being born, or she could be the mother nesting. I'm letting you choose how you want to imagine this drawing. Tell me in the comments, what's your idea of this drawing? What do you see? Do you think she's the mother? Do you think it's the birth of the fairy? On February 18, I drew the Scorpio Fairy. So the Scorpio is passionate, generous, nice, loyal, direct, willing, full of conflicts, hyperactive, dynamic, strong, persuasive. So it's a strong and powerful zodiac sign. So I wanted to give my fairy an imposing pose, like walking towards us. I kind of wanted to hint the passion part with the hand on her head, like walking towards us. But the result is not really like good. I feel like I missed my my goal. Her face is too calm, so the pose feels weird next to the face. Like she has no passion in her face. She's just completely serene, and it doesn't work. I drew her in black and red just to reference to scorpions, and I gave her like poofy leaves, and the dress is really poofy in the back, again to kind of mimic the body of the scorpions. She of course has the tail of the scorpion, and I gave her some really big leafy wings. Again, I am not really liking the result. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you're a Scorpio, tell me if you like her. So on February 19, I did the Winter Fairy. So I made her with transparent wings, black hair, very pale skin. She has a very beautiful white dress that is completely one with the snow on the ground. Her hand is making snow, so it's snowing. She's in the forest. There's birch trees because I wanted to stay in a very pale colors. So I wanted to make her wear a dress that had no sleeves. Like, I didn't want to give her a coat or a jacket or anything, and nothing winter wear, because I see her as being one with the cold, being well and happy in the cold. She's the winter fairy, so she doesn't need a coat. So yeah, I really love how the birch trees came out. It was my first time drawing them, and I'm kind of proud of them. I think they are really cute, and I really love the fairy also, of course. On February 20, I did the Sagittarius Fairy. So the Sagittarius is portrayed as being like a centaur with a bow, but I did not want to draw a centaur fairy. It was not something that I could see. So I just decided to draw a fairy on a horse. So she's riding the horse. I completely forgot to draw the bow, so I could had it later, but yeah, she's missing the bow right now. So the Sagittarius sign is poetic, undecisive, wise, sincere, independent, free, optimistic. So I thought that making her ride a horse in the prairies would fit the Sagittarius and the whole idea. It was the first time that I was drawing a horse, and I really like his big nose. I think it's super cute. On February 21st, I actually did the Fairy Queen. I had this idea in my head. I didn't know how to make it happen, so I searched my arsenal of stuff in my house, and I found these metallic pens, and I mean, Eureka, I can do what I want. So what I did is, first I draw her like being very poised, beautiful, strong, wise, calm, serene. And then I put a base of a really dark gray for the dress. Then I came back with a dark blue on top of it, just to have this perfect dark color that is rich. And on top of it, I did the design with the metallic pen that I found. I mean, I'm super happy with the result. Then I did the same thing with the hair. I did a very dark gray black, and then I came back with a reddish marker just to have this color here. I don't know if you can see, it's not red, it's not brown, it's not black. It's just perfect. So at the end, I decided to use the metallic pen in the wings. I did the same colors on the wings from the dress. Then her headpiece or crown, I made it with a yellowish gold color because I didn't have a lot of metallic ink left in my pen. So I couldn't like fill everything. I really love the result. I'm super happy with her. Tell me in the comments what you think. I think she's my favorite of all the fairies that I did. I think she's really pretty. On February 2nd, I did a flower fairy. So I gave her a flower skirt, and I made her green as if she was the stem of the flower. And I just drew her as a little character floating in the air. She's super cute. She's super happy. She's really sweet. I really love her. I love her dress. I think it's just a really cute drawing. On February 23rd, I did the Capricorn Fairy. So So the Capricorn is ambitious, perfectionist, caring, patient, serious, responsible, organized, smart, loyal. It likes rules. It has principles. So when I saw that the Capricorn was a fish goat, I was just like, what am I going to do with this? I had no idea what to draw at all. I didn't want to do a goat fairy. I was not seeing it at all. So I thought about it. I did some research on the internet to find a pose that I would love. And I found this picture of a woman dancing, I think, and she had her arms like that, her head this way. She had her leg bent, and then it came to me that I could put my fairy in this position with the fishtail, and then I could just give her goat horns. So that's what I did. I drew the pose, and then instead of doing the legs, I did the fishtail, and I gave her the goat horns. And overall, I finally really like it. I gave her like 4 wings on each side. She has a very cool gradient from green to light blue. The pose felt to me very strong, very royal, like a sense of dominance or control. I don't know. I really like her. I was really proud with the drawing, and when I put the colors, it just made her pop. So I really love her. On February 24, I did the Dark Fairy. I really love her. I love weird and creepy stuff. So that was the perfect fairy to do it. I drew her with shades of gray, with black. Her skin is light gray, and I made her look like she was cracking or something. Like if her skin was peeling, I don't know. Like she was made of clay, I don't know. So she has dark eyes, she has dark gray hair. She's creepy and I love her. On February 25th, I did the Aquarius Fairy. So the Aquarius is full of ideas, projects. They love movements, surprises. They are not scared to contest like the powers, the rules, the authority. They are independent. They are dynamic, fun, easy to live with. The Aquarius is always portrayed with someone pouring water. So I thought about, you know, those women who carry a water pot on their head. So that's the idea. I wanted to draw an unconventional fairy, and I thought about, let's make her hairless. So she has a water clay thing. So she's transporting water on her head. She has one in her hand, and she's wearing a huge coat on her shoulder. She has a huge dress underneath, and she is definitely unconventional. And I would imagine her being like always questioning the authority and being assertive and sure of herself. I really like her. I think she could be a really fun character in a story. I think she would be like super badass. On February 26th, I did the Autumn Fairy, the Fall Fairy. So I thought of her a little bit like the Winter and Spring Fairy, where they kind of control the weather, the elements. So she's playing with the falling leaves and other stuff. She's either like making them fall or just spreading them. I gave her dark hair. She has green wings, and she has a beautiful dress with the colors of fall. And I think she's really pretty. I really love her. I think she's really cute. On February 27, I did the Pisces Fairy. So the Pisces is tolerant, open, artistic, romantic, dreamful, imaginative, creative. She's searching for love, true feelings. Reality is really hard for them to face. So the Pisces is portrayed as fish. It's a water sign, of course. And so I made like a fish fairy, I guess. And I made her all blue, and I really love her. I think she's really, really nice. So the idea was to make her appear like she's floating with the dress thing that she has on, and the hair is going in every direction. I really like the result of her. She's really unique. She's fun. She has a very angular face. She has a skin texture. I would imagine her being very romantic and living like in an imaginary world, just to avoid reality. I don't know. I mean, overall, I just really like the result. And the last drawing of the month was the Fallen Fairy. It was on February 28th. So I imagine a fairy as sweet as she could be, losing her wings, falling from above, being demoted from her position, losing her powers, becoming a con and excluded. So I wanted to draw her in the moment she was losing her wings, falling. I could have drawn her like after she had fallen, like the fairy being very sad, excluded, alone and everything. But I wanted to explore this position of someone falling. That's why I did this. I wanted to draw the scene, so that's what I did. There's not a lot of stuff to say about her. This is her wings, and she's gonna fall, I don't know where. You can imagine, and yeah. And guys, this is my whole month. I really enjoyed doing this challenge. It was super fun. It was super inspiring. That made me want to draw and try new things. My favorite fairy is the Fairy Queen, but I also really like the Pisces. I like the Capricorn. I like the dark and the dead fairy. Also the insect one. I mean, I love them all. They all have their special thing that I like about them. So I think my month was really great. I'm super happy, super proud of myself. But tell me in the comments which one you prefer. Which one is your favorite? Also, do you like the fairy that represent your zodiac sign? That would be, I'm very curious to see what you think. So tell me in the comments. As always, please hit the like button if you liked this video. It really means a lot to me, and it helps my channel to grow. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notifications to know when I post new videos. And on this, I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, have fun, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.